There's other people around us and you're speaking to me like that. I feel like I'm looking a bit oily. I just done a face mask. I'm so sorry. Anyway, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's doing okay and everyone is doing well. In all honesty, I probably think this is going to be one of the bluntest reviews that we've had since we've actually started doing these reviews, because we honestly just watched 1 hour of Faye shouting. That's all it was, an hour of Faye shouting. Oh, it is honestly just, there's a lot to uncover and unpick and unpack from the episode. I have words. I honestly have words. So as I usually and I always say, please get comfortable. No, not please get comfortable. Please get cozy and comfortable. Subscribe if you haven't already. I know that's right. But please get cozy and comfortable with your hot Ribena and your snacks. And I really hope you enjoy the rest of this review. Alrighty, so let's start off with the challenge. I'm just going to break it down into small bits and then we're going to move on to the whole Faye and Teddy situ, because that was actually just way too much. So yeah, as you guys know, in yesterday's review, I did mention at the end that Love Island were doing a challenge with the girls versus the boys, and whoever was to win was able to see a secret clip, quote unquote, from the other team. So starting off with Tyler kissing Cries, I don't think that was anything like too much, because we know that Tyler and Kaz have reunited. I guess the highlight of that clip was Matthew eating popcorn. Like Matthew was just chop, like literally Matthew was chopping and enjoying as he should. But as we know, Kaz wasn't too bothered with that whole situation because her and her tie are back on track. The second clip that they played was Liam with the three-way kiss. At first when they played that clip, I was like, oh, Love Island shows violence, it shows violence. But Millie didn't really care. Millie wasn't bothered. And this is what I mean, like, this is why I say I'm over the whole situation. I understand that, you know, you guys are moving forward and stuff like that, but I feel like Millie didn't necessarily give us the reactions that we wanted, but you know what, it's good. It shows that she's grown and that they're moving forward. And I do understand that when you do decide to move forward with someone, I guess you can't hold them down to their past. But Liam literally done absolute nonsense in Castle Moore, and I just feel like Millie's response wasn't really given. So moving on to the third clip, it was Chloe and Tobias speaking about the things that they do under the bed. We don't really care about that too tough, so just gonna let that slide. The fourth clip, of course, was Teddy and Cries. We're gonna get into this much deeper, much later. But of course, they ended up showing the clip. I believe it was on day one when they were doing the game together, and Crais was asked to kiss I think it was to kiss the guy that she fancies the most out of the boys, and she ended up kissing Teddy. Personally, I said it in yesterday's video as well, I'm gonna say it again. Faye should have honestly read the room. Like, I feel like Faye's outburst was very, very, very erratic in terms of, oh, Uncle Teddy, and you can F off with your sandals, and like, all of that just didn't really make any sense to me. But yeah, I just felt like Faye was overreacting. Like, I understand that that is a clip and that's a small clip as part of a bigger picture, but like at the end of the day, he did come back with you, and he slept in outside for what, the whole time he was there, and locked it off with Crais after like one day. But yeah, we're gonna get into that much later. But I just feel like Faye's reaction, she should have honestly just read the room. Like the whole shouting and oh this, and you said you were loyal, didn't give at all. The fourth clip as well, Kaz and Matthew, not really much to say about that. They're over. So yeah, I'm so over that whole situation, so I don't really want to give it too much time. And the fifth video, which was the second video of Jake, the first one we did discuss yesterday, in which Jake was speaking about, you know, not really having the urge to rip off Liberty's clothes. But this video was actually the one where he was basically egging the other guys on in the villa to crack on with the new girls in Castle Moore, and, you know, telling them it's a lad's holiday, you know, do what you want, all that type of stuff. I can't lie, when that video came, I said, yeah. That video was necessary because Jake needed to get exposed for being a fraud. And it was honestly so interesting because even when the video was leaked, like, Jake just looked so uncomfortable. It was like he was sweating, he was getting hot, he was just like and then what was really strange was, of course, like Faye, you know, Faye, she just brings and gathers the anger for the whole team and just comes as Iron Man together. But Faye was basically just like, oh, and you call me your sis, and you da-da-da-da-da. And then Jake randomly was just like, what, do you think it's me? It is you, Jake. That's your voice, that's your face, that's you on the screen. What is that response? Jake was mad flustered by all of that, but I am very, very happy that that scene came to light. So we're going to quickly do a breakdown of Liberty and Jake, and then we're going to get into a full, you know, analysis, essay, all of that of Faye and Teddy. So starting off with Liberty and Jake, what was quite interesting was Liberty wasn't actually too focused or too bothered about the whole snaky movements that he was doing in the villa. Her main concern was the fact that, oh, maybe my boyfriend doesn't actually find me attractive. And that was actually quite heartbreaking. I have said this even from my first Love Island review, when I did do my first impressions of the contestants. I said Liberty honestly looks like she has the sweetest heart, and we continuously seen this in the episodes as well. But what was quite strange was, number one, she's the one that pulled Jake for a chat. Like, Jake, you should be the one pulling Liberty for a chat. that, because clearly you can see that she's not in the mood. And even when they did have that conversation, I don't feel like Jake gave her enough reassurance to basically let her know that it's not that anymore. And I think that was very disappointing to see. On top of that, you can see that that conversation didn't necessarily end on the best of terms. Liberty is still walking away, still speaking to her friends, still distraught by hearing that, and you're there in the kitchen eating yogurt. Whether yogurt, custard, I don't know, there was a spoon and there was a bowl, but either way, you're eating and you're munching and your girl is crying. I don't know, I just feel like Jake handled that whole situation extremely poorly. Like, that was honestly your time to nip it in the bud with Liberty and let her know, oh Liberty, I love you, oh Liberty, I'm sorry, oh this, no, you're the most beautiful girl in the world, you're my girlfriend, you're my this, you're my that. I know he did say some things about, oh I want you to meet my family and stuff like that, but I just feel like Jake literally scratched the surface with that apology, and I don't honestly feel like he gave enough. So let's move on to this Faye and Teddy situation. And what is actually quite interesting is in my first impressions videos, when I did do my impression of Faye, I did say Faye is somehow, there's something there. There's honestly something there, if we're going to be very honest, because the way that she acted in tonight's episode, I'm sorry, that was embarrassing. Putting up a middle finger to your partner, speaking to your partner in the midst of other people like that. And one thing that was very interesting that Teddy kept saying, and I guess it kind of shows their different maturity levels, maybe, I don't know, just the way that they think so differently, but Teddy kept saying, control your emotions, control your emotions. And that's something you need to learn to do in life. And I feel like this is, I'm getting into Oprah mode, but it honestly is something that you need to learn to do in life. Like, there's many people that they grow up with very bad habits and they think, oh, because I've grown up that way, that's the only way that I'm allowed to speak like that, I'm allowed to act like that, you know, that's how my parents raised me, that's just how I am. But if how you are has always been bad, then maybe you need to change it so that your future can be better. And I understand at the same, I understand at the same time why Faye can be quite irritated, because of course maybe she feels like Teddy kind of downplayed his connection in Castlemore with Clarice, you know, that is her name, right? It is Clarice, yeah. Maybe she thought that he downplayed, you know, the connection that he had with Clarice and he wasn't really fully honest and stuff like that. But control your emotions. You are an adult. I believe Faye is either 26 or 27. If you're not happy with what you saw on the screen, speak to me like an adult. Let us go to the side. Calm down. Let us have an adult conversation. But instead, you are effing and you are blinding across this whole villa. And personally for me as well, I'm not a fan of potty mouths anyway. I just feel like swearing is just so unattractive. And for me, in that episode, that's all I was hearing. Effing this, blinded this, who you talking to, like, just noise. It was honestly very draining to watch. And that's another thing that you need to learn to do as an adult as well. Like, never speak from a place of anger, because the things that you say cannot be taken back. And you know that quote that people say, like, oh, people may forget what you do, but people will never forget how you made them feel. People will never forget the words that you spew out to them. Whether you're angry, whether you're like, take time to calm down.'re an adult. Learn to communicate. Even if you're angry, calm yourself down and get to a point where you can speak to your other half and basically try and hash things out. You don't start, you're actually disgraced to me in front of other people. Other people are here and this is how you're speaking to me. So even if I'm able to deal with you, other people around are probably thinking, how can he allow her to speak to him like that? How can you do this? How are you going to accept that? It's disrespectful. Regardless of how you feel, it's disrespectful to not be considerate of other people's feelings and to also not read the room. You're an adult. Sort it out. I'm trying to be very understanding here. Like, I've said this in my other reviews as well. I don't want anyone to think that I'm just here like, oh, bashing Faye and oh, not understanding where she's coming from, because I have said this in my other reviews that I feel like Faye is a lovely person, but I don't feel like she's ready for a relationship, because clearly there are still some past traumas that she does need to heal from, whether it's to do with abandonment issues, whether it's to do with her upbringing, whether it's to do with previous toxic relationships. I just don't know. Like, honestly, even when they ended up having their little conversation, of course, like, Faye was like, you know, it's done, like, it's done, we're not going back, like, this is it. Teddy even gave her back her ring, and yeah, she basically was just, she even walked off as well and just, again, effing and blinding, effing and blinding. And with the type of character that Teddy has, I just don't think he is suited for someone like that. Is Abby not there? I even said this as well. I think Millie and Teddy would have been a very cute couple. I'm just gonna say, I thought they would have been a very cute couple, but I do feel like Teddy needs someone who is very sweet and someone who actually understands and respects his feelings, regardless of how angry that they are. That is how relationships work. That is how you build good connections with people. And I feel like Faye at this point, is it even self-sabotaging? I don't even know if I can say that. I honestly just feel like this is just due to bad manners, but not also bad manners. Look at my haven acting a fool. Not even just due to bad manners. I also think it is clearly due to her past, and until that is healed and until those bruises are no longer being picked and until that healing and that bruise is no longer even bleeding, I don't think she can move forward, not even just in this villa but in a relationship with anybody else. This is a red flag. not even just red, yellow, green, blue, amber, everything. This is a red flag and he needs to run. Honestly, I either hope they bring someone else in who actually does consider Teddy's feelings, or maybe Teddy should crack on with Abby, because Abby seems quite sweet. But Fedi, or whatever everyone else was calling them, Tay, yeah, Tay, Fedi, is done. Cat is done. The last thing that I want to mention, and by the way, I feel like this video has low-key come across as me just being like just a rant, but we listened to a whole hour of Faye shouting. There was nothing negative, there was nothing positive that came from that episode, so I feel like my feelings and my rant is very much valid. But honestly, I was very disappointed in this episode as well, because all I could think about as well was, imagine if it was Kaz that was shouting the way Faye was shouting on today's episode on national TV. And someone did comment on one of my videos that, you know, they hate the way I speak about race and race, but no, it's literally black and white. Let's just be honest. This is happening. Racism is a thing. Stop acting like it's disappeared. It hasn't disappeared. If Kaz was the one to be shouting on national TV because of that whole Kaz and Tyler and Matthew situation, you can imagine how the tabloids would run with it. You can imagine the outburst of racism that will come with that as well. Like, people already putting monkey emojis under Kaz's post, even with that whole situation with Tyler and with Matthew. But Faye was allowed to go on national TV today and literally shout and scream her head off. But even none of the girls, like, guys, this is probably why Faye is the way that she is, because maybe people around her are not even correcting her when they're seeing these type of things coming from her. Honestly, I think it was very disappointing. Like, I can only imagine how things would be if it was Kaz that was screaming on our screens today. How she would be labelled as being that angry black girl, aggressive. And the fact that that was allowed for a whole hour was not okay. Yeah guys, those are my thoughts on that episode. I'm sorry if this kind of came across as quite angry or quite a rant or something, but we literally listened to a whole hour of Faye shouting, so there isn't really much that I can say. But I just felt like it showed a lack of etiquette, a lack of decorum. It was very, very, very toxic, very loud, just very negative, and that's not the type of vibe that you want to get from someone that you want to grow or be in a relationship with. So I won't be surprised if Faye and Teddy are completely over, but I honestly just feel like Teddy deserves better, and Teddy deserves someone who takes his considerations who takes his feelings into consideration, but also deserves someone to hear him speak and explain himself in order for them to make it work. So yeah. So yeah guys, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. As you know, there is no Love Island tomorrow, so I will next be seeing you on Sunday. But nonetheless, I want to thank you so much for your love and your support this week with our reviews. Please do take care. Subscribe if you have not already, because how are you coming here all the time and you're not even subscribed? So yeah, be sure to subscribe. But other than that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please do take care, and I shall see you in our next one. Bye.